What is going on, boys? We did not take any trades today. Hold on. Holy shit, bro. Holy shit, bro. There we go. Okay, we did not take any trades today. There was not a single valid setup today. Today was pretty boring. There wasn't even like anything close to a setup, like at all. We had a bearish bias pretty much the whole day. Okay. We had a bearish bias pretty much the whole freaking day. And yeah, let me see what the closest thing we got to was. Right, so this was the closest thing we got to, was taking position, was this short right here. Stop loss at the swing high. TP1 would have been this low right here for me, and then TP2 would have been this low for me, final TP. And we avoided a loss today, right? Why did we avoid a loss, okay? If my bias was, right, if we were only looking at NASDAQ here, okay, we would have taken a position, okay? Our invalidation low was this low right here, okay? So what do, right? First things first, we have a sweep of buy-side liquidity, right? We come up, we sweep out these highs, okay? If we have a sweep of buy-side liquidity, we need to pair it with a bearish bias. We had a bearish bias, right? And then what do? Okay, let's not do that. What do, right? After we're sweeping buy-side liquidity and we have a bearish bias, we come down and we shift below and we invert this order block, right? And we also shift market structure. And then the next candle down, we create a fair value gap, right? So we have a fair value gap paired with our breaker block. We have a bearish bias, sweep of buy side, market structure shift, order block, gap. We have a market structure shift on ES and a gap on ES. Why did I not take this trade? How did I avoid a loss? Because if our invalidation low, right, is right here, this is probably the most important concept, okay, is invalidation lows and highs, right? What is an invalidation low or high? It's literally just a point of liquidity to where, like, if we're shifting structure, right, I don't want to see it shift structure hard enough. Sometimes it'll happen, right? You'll shift structure too hard and you'll take out points of, like, actual sell-side liquidity in this example for the trade to play out, right? We were probably thinking, well, Colin, it didn't take the invalidation low. Well, if our invalidation low is right here on NASDAQ, right, this is kind of like the first point, first kind of target that price could reverse off of. It's pretty much that. The first liquidity point where price could reverse off of. It's going to be the exact same thing on ES, right? So our invalidation low on ES is going to be this low right here, okay? As you can see, as we're shifting structure, right? Why is the replay watermark on my fucking screen? Right? Boom, we shift structure, okay? And then look at ES, right? We take that invalidation low, okay? So all of a sudden, we've now swept sell side liquidity and we have a bearish bias, right? We have swept sell side liquidity, okay? And if you know anything about trading, you can't take shorts after sweeping sell side liquidity, right? So this is why I did not take this trade, is because we took out the invalidation low and it hit the stop loss of the imaginary trade that I would have taken. So that's why it's important to look at ES, because of those S&Ts and whatnot. And then that was pretty much it, right? We didn't really get much after that. Like, literally nothing happened. I was waiting for shorts all throughout this macro. I was waiting for a shift, right? We got a shift and we got a gap. I don't know if it happened on ES. But guess what? It was outside of macro. And there was no entry even here. So, damn! So this macro was boring. I went over the last macro. We could have taken a short, but we took the invalidation low. And then this macro, same thing, right? I was waiting for this order block to get inversed. Then I was waiting for this order block to get inversed. Then I was waiting for this order block to get inversed because I had a bearish bias for the buy side liquidity sweep, right? in this case, right, if we shifted structure right here, right, still right now, okay, pretend like we're in macro right now, right, we have an order block right here, okay, so we would shift through this swing low, and we'd potentially pair a fair value gap with this order block or this order block, right? Our invalidation low would be this low down here, okay? Why would it not be this low? Because this low is just too close to our shift, right? We could easily shift through this. Like while we shift market structure, we could easily just take out this low and just shift through it, right? But this low is at that point where it's like, okay, like you can just tell how far away it is, right? Like this is obviously a target, right? Even if our fair value gap is up there, right? Or even even if our fair value gap forms all the way down here and we get entry like right here, stop loss, like fuck it, we even go right here. This is around that point where it's like, okay, this is like the first target for price to take out before we could reverse, right? So yeah, that's pretty much it for today, guys. No trades. I am not trading tomorrow because it's pre-FOMC, so it's like already priced in. I will be trading FOMC though, and I will be full porting some alpha future evals on NFP on Friday. So I will record that for you guys. If you guys are interested on like how to do that, it's actually my first time doing it, right? But I know how to do it, so we're gonna see how it goes. I'm thinking about also doing it with my Top Step accounts, but also setting a daily profit target for 1400, right? So that obviously NFP goes out, boom, I get filled and it just skyrockets, right? I don't want to cook my consistency, okay? So I want to take out right before that 50% consistency, which is 1500. And yeah, I'm thinking about doing that. I'm not totally sure about that, but the Alpha Future Zero accounts I'm definitely doing, right? This is also the buffer plan, right? So if your account is above 51.5, you risk $500. If your account is below this, you risk 250, right? Let's say you're at a 15, you're at this, right? Your account balance is at this, so you can risk $500, right? And you take a full loss, okay? Now your account balance is at $1,000, basically, right? You can now take, if you, dude, I'm geeked, bro. Your account balance is at 51.5. You lose a full trade, you're now at 51, okay? You now have risk to 250. This ensures at least four full losses in a row. Full 4 losses in a row, which is pretty rare. And then if your account, if you go $1,000 up from your starting balance, which is 51.5, so it'd be 52.5, you then can take a payout of $1,000. So you basically just go back to that starting balance, right? But I want to go over the alpha futures because I just want to see it too. I want to make sure, like, because I already have one account that's funded. I already have one. I already have one. I already have one of these funded. Oh, I just hedged it with like Apex. Right. So you're gonna buy this, right? There's codes everywhere, bro. I don't think they're that great at codes, but hey, 10% is 10%, right? So yeah, you need to buy the Alpha Future Zero plan so you can pass it in one day. Probably targets 3K. You go max contracts on the actual NQ chart, right? On the actual NQ contract, not MNQ, right? You go NQ, you go 3 contracts. And then yeah, your maximum drawdown is 2K. Daily loss guard, you won't lose the account if you hit this, right? You lose the account if you hit this. But this is kind of just like a built-in thing, right? So if you lose $1,000 in a day, they'll stop you from trading. I don't think I'll ever trade. Yeah, no, I won't ever trade $500 risk on my Alpha Future Zero accounts because they only allow you to have 10 minis. 10 fucking minis, okay? I made a video about this. I was really angry, okay? They only allow you to have 10 minis, okay? So if you're copy trading, if you have TradeSync, right? make sure you have this as your lead account so you can risk 250 and then you can just multiply it across your other accounts, right? Um, so yeah, that's what I'll be doing. And then on the 13th, we have CPI. I will be buying 5. I don't know. It depends on where I'm at financially in life. I really don't want to take my payout. I want to take my payout once I'm fully max allo on Top Step. But I do have one eval on Top Step. I might have to take the payout to buy 5 of these growth accounts on Tradeify, right? Funding in one day. You buy 50K, you buy Tradeabate, obviously. Um, and then yeah, right. So profit target 3K, max drawdown 2K, daily loss same thing as the alpha, just 250 more. No consistency, reset fee 8. Literally the exact same thing as the alpha futures account, except it's 250 more on the daily loss, and you can have 4 minis, so you don't need as big of a move, right? So on the 13th I'll be doing this, and then on Friday I'll be doing this. I'm not trading tomorrow. Um, and yeah, dude, I forgot to go over my loss with you guys. So I have taken a trade this week. It was this trade right here, okay? Essentially all it was, right? We were in the lunch macro. No, we were in the second AM macro, right? Um, yeah, second AM macro. We had a bearish bias, right? We swept out this low right here, okay? Okay. This little high right here, we swept out this high, okay? And then this would be our invalidation low, right? So we swept out this high, we had a bearish bias, we shift below this swing low, okay? And then our our unicorn model, our inverse order block was on ES, right? So it's not on the NQ chart. This is just market structure shift fair value gap, right? But the unicorn models is on ES, right there. And then we just lost, you know. Like, it is what it is. It doesn't really matter about the outcome. It just matters about the process. So yeah, I'll see you guys on Friday, not tomorrow. And I love you guys. God loves you too, and peace.